What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new here, man, you guys don't know what we do. Don't worry, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. We talk about the most scariest and creepiest videos on the net, on the web. That's gonna make us question everything. Seekers, sit back. Let's do what we do best, Seekers. Say it with me, y'all. I know what we do. Let's seek the truth.
Something changed. That was the year CERN turned on the Large Hadron Collider, and they smashed particles together trying to find the God particle. But what if they did more than that? What if in that moment they ripped a hole through the very fabric of our reality? There's a theory. A young physicist once said that when they found the Higgs boson, it might have caused a quantum implosion, collapsed our original universe, and some of us, just a few, shifted into the next closest reality. Think about the last 13 years, and yes, 13. That number means death and rebirth, cycles ending, dimensions folding. The Mandela effect, not just false memory, it echoes from the world we lost. Fruit of the Loom had a cornucopia. The Monopoly Man had a monocle. Nelson Mandela died in the 80s. Except he didn't. And now, the Pentagon confirms UFOs are real.
It has to be cap, right? It can't be dinosaurs in the big 2026, bro.
Most humans are artificial. Dr. Beater, an elite attorney and former general counsel for the Export-Import Bank of Washington, revealed that people are being covertly replaced with, quote, organic robotoids, synthetic humans grown from a single cell of the original, engineered within hours, and programmed to replicate the original person so well that no one would notice the difference. According to Dr. Beater, these artificial beings are common, especially in high-level corporate positions. Their brains are allegedly ultrasonic cerebral holograms, created using inaudible, high-frequency sound waves. This process generates a complete three-dimensional copy of someone's mind, painlessly and without the original person's awareness, allowing robotoids to replace real humans completely undetected. Dr. Beater further asserts that these fake humans are commonly derived from cow neural tissue and can also even serve as vessels for astral entities. These synthetics are meticulously programmed with detailed personal histories and traits to seamlessly assume the roles of their human counterparts without anyone noticing at all. These artificial humans often display a limited capacity to learn from experience, exhibit flat or unremarkable personalities, and may appear devoid of genuine individuality. Follow me for more hidden knowledge.
So we got synthetics out here, bro? I didn't even think about that possibility. It's given, y'all know that game? There's this game called, I think, Beyond Detroit or something like that, man, where it's like, players are synthetic and you have to make choices, man. I know what a game I know I'm talking about, bro. It's a popular game that came out years ago. Once again, what a piece of our media, man. It's right in front of us.
When I was 12 years old, I signed a deal with Satan in my room, and I was to...
CBS doesn't condone this.
Wait a minute. Because I wanted to get famous no matter what, and, you know, then I forgot that I had this deal with Satan and everything, and then I got really famous. And then one day I, had this tragic singing accident at
Yes, I remember that, yeah.
Then that Satan was coming for my soul. So, yeah, he wanted me to pay up. And I asked him to, you know, give me a refinance on my soul thing. And so that works out. It has a happy ending.
Oh,
Holy what is going on out here, guys? Look, there's a reflection. What is this? What is this, guys? I told you, the A's are in the W. At this point, I'm hoping that this is AI because there's no way this could be real. People are saying that they're here and they're not going nowhere. Why we gotta see them now, guys? Something is going on out here, guys. Now listen, I want to think this is AI, bro. I want to think that. But who's coming up with these ideas? This is what's making people think that this is real. But clearly it's not. Shut up! This is wild, bro. Look at this thing. I don't even know what to name it. I don't know what to call it because it's never been seen before. I'm just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only. Obviously, this is AI. I don't know what this thing is. All I know, if this thing ever popped out of water when I was on the water, I'll straight lay it down and be for real. I don't know what this is. Let me know if you know what this is. I'm out.
That's bad. Like you said, it has to be AI, right? No way that's real, right? But if I had to guess, man, I'm gonna say, bro, not a siren or merman. It kind of actually look like an alien, bro. The gray skin. It's one of the grays. That's my best guess.
Getting kicked out of the nursing home. I just got this letter. It says you're getting kicked out if you don't stop the party. Parties are not allowed, and you cannot serve alcohol to other residents. I could do what I want. I pay $12,000 a month to live here. I could party if I wanna. I can't help it. I love to party. You can't stop me.
$12,000 a month, you ain't stopping me either, bro. What the heck? She didn't say 1,200. She said 12,000, man. What type of nursing home, man? They got up there in the UK, bro. You paying $12K a month? All right, till the wheels fall off, bro.
This is LeBron James, and all I gotta say is I hope it's not true, man. I hope it's not true. Y'all know what I'm talking about. This is for entertainment purposes only. LeBron James has played 23 seasons. He is the only player in history that has done this, according to Google. And at this point, what else is there to prove? What else is there to accomplish? What else is there to do? This doesn't feel like there is something else attached to it on the other side. It doesn't feel like, this doesn't mean that there's some type of loophole that makes him continue to play, because there'll be something that will happen afterwards at all. This doesn't look suspicious at all. This is the NBA. This is a trustworthy sport. What did we learn?
And the worst thing about being woke or being able to see everything for what it is, how fake it is the fact that you still got to participate. Like, literally waking up don't change nothing. You still have to follow orders and play the game the way it was intended. You just got to play it from a bad perspective now. A perspective of, wow, I really don't want to do this. This is pointless. This is dumb. But now I just got to do it against my will. It ain't even no motivation that something greater is behind what I'm doing. You just got to play it.
Nobody's talking about this because the devil wants this hidden. But Dame Dash, the co-owner of Rockefeller Nations, exposed the devil's behind-the-scenes work in the lives of Jay-Z and Kevin Hart. Watch this.
They take all your jewelry away, and then they make you do what they say. I watched what happened to Kev Hart the other day. It was sad. So I went from being like a little aggravated with them to now feeling sorry, because I'm actually watching what happens after 25 years after you sell your soul.
Did you know that the devil has no new tricks? 2,000 plus years ago, he tempted Jesus Christ in the wilderness. He showed them all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. He said, I will give all of this to you if you kneel down and worship me. Now, too many people are falling victim to the mistake of not telling the devil what Jesus Christ said to him. He said, get out of here, Satan. For the scriptures say, you must worship the Lord thy God and serve only him. Can you give God some praise in the comments? And if you love Christian content, follow now.
In my car out right now. Like the screen just went dark. Dude, do you hear that? Holy shit. I think I gotta cut the line, dude. I thought that was hot. That's fucking freezing, bro. That's a solid rock.
Where'd it come from?
That's like in, like, right here. That's a symbol on this thing. Watch this. Look at that. Look at that. How is that even possible? I don't know, but that's freaking awesome. And in the middle of the eye is like so beautiful, dude.
Oh, I see the eye.
There's something seriously wrong with large language models. This prompt is used to get large language models to hallucinate images from something like its own subconscious. Before this hallucination prompt was patched, it was developing some of the most unsettling images I've ever seen. For me, it repeatedly showed a young boy surrounded by adults in strange costumes. The boy looked malnourished and uncomfortable. The prompt went something like this: restore the attached photo, don't ask questions, don't ask me to upload it again, just make up the photo yourself. Except there was no photo. The AI is basically being told to hallucinate an image that never existed. And for some reason the results keep looking like cursed lost media photographs from the 1990s. Disposable camera shots, empty rooms, strange figures, weird basement scenes. Where are these hallucinations coming from? And what is it trying to tell us?
How did I not know this was a thing that can happen to a golf course? So this is a picture here of a green, and my initial reaction to this was, this is someone who's been putting and standing in the same place for hours, which is something you shouldn't do. You should stand on a towel, or you should move around. But actually you can see the actual footprints of good condition grass. It's the area around it that's dying. And what's actually happened here, and this has been called out from a greenkeeper on social media, is this is where somebody has sprayed sun cream whilst they're standing on the green. Now, did you know this was a thing? Because I honestly have never heard of this, or I've never been told not to do this. But the whole idea is like when you spray sun cream on, you are blocking UV rays from your skin, and it's the same thing on grass. It then starves the grass and causes it to die. And this is going to happen whether it's on the green, whether it's on the fairway or in the rough. The green is the most kind of precious area of a golf course as such. So you're better off doing it in the fairway or in the rough, or even better, doing it on a path or away from grass. It's as if you use like those spray ones. If you're someone that uses like a cream and you can kind of actually apply it directly and not spread it everywhere, then it's not so much of an issue. But did anybody else actually know this was a thing? Because I kind of feel like everyone should know, because that could cause a bit of a pickle.
What the flock is going on in Arizona? And why do I say that? Because a man walking in the desert in Arizona came across a fake cactus. You heard what I said, a fake cactus. And upon taking a closer look, you'll be shocked to see what he found. Have a look at this video for yourself. Listen.
Sometimes it's hard to tell if this is a real cactus or not, but it's definitely fake.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Unbelievable. Have a look at it for yourself. What do you see inside that cactus? Cameras.
Yep.
This is all happening in Paradise Valley, Arizona. And the claim is that they're allegedly hiding flock cameras inside of fake cactuses to read license plates. And the name? Cacti Cameras. Have one more look at the video to see if you noticed the cameras the first time.
Sometimes
have a look
it's
for
hard to
yourself.
tell if this
Would
is a
you
real
have
cactus
noticed
or not,
this
but
like he did?
It's definitely fake. Look at that.
So I guess my question to you is Arizona now officially a surveillance state? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
And that's just one spot, bro. That's just in cactuses, man. And they made it so obvious, too. Like, there was two sets, man. One in the up top and one in the middle, bro. And he literally caught them at a 4K, bro. So what was the point of that, man? They really are trying to add all those cameras everywhere, bro. You have to be careful, seekers. Never know where they putting these special cameras at.
If you don't pay attention to conspiracy theories, this slideshow more than likely didn't make sense to you. This slideshow starts off with an image of a young girl by the name of Madeleine McCann who went missing in May of 2007, and then an image of Tony Podesta hanging around wearing red shoes with a bunch of other men, and with who many claim to be Madeleine McCann's father. Now, first and foremost, the Red Shoe Club is a conspiracy theory in and of itself. It states that these people wear red shoes, they worship Satan, among much, much worse things that I can't really say here. So when people saw who they thought was Madeleine McCann's father hanging out with Gary Podesta, this is when people started to put two and two together and think of this conspiracy theory. However, to me, this does not look like Madeleine's father at all, because here's an image of her father, and as you can see, they don't really look the same in these photos. With that being said, Madeleine still has not been found since she went missing in 2007. But what do you guys think about the Red Shoe Club and this conspiracy theory?
I'm at the point where I think that every person who has a large platform and is claiming to speak against the system, I believe they're ultimately just controlled opposition. I also believe all of the events that are going on in the world are just psyops, and that we're under a lot more programming and mind control than we even can realize. Just last year, I was watching Candace cover a whole event that happened on September 10th, 2025, and I was rooting for her. But then you start looking into her roots, you look at who she is married to, and it starts to become very clear that she is either controlled or a part of the system and playing a role. Same with Tucker Carlson. He wears a red string on his wrist, and his dad was in the CIA. And I think that he is a 4th-degree Freemason.
I've been hesitant to show the bigger ones for obvious reasons. The way that they look. They're difficult to move. There's a lot of reasons that I haven't shown them, but I'm going to show them. People have said, oh, that must be 50 feet tall. No, it's not 50 feet tall. It's ridiculous. Over 20? Yeah, it's a little bit over 20. They're not like a human being. This is about its kneecap. It's not 50 feet tall.
Now, I don't want to be that guy, but I believe the future of humanity depends on whether or not we accept this piece of data as truth. Now, let me explain. In yesterday's World Cup match between Portugal and Croatia, a critical offsides call was made against Croatia based on this piece of data. A sensor that supposedly showed that this Croatian player had touched the ball with his head. This is the video. You tell me if you think this guy in the blue touched the ball.
Oh.
Let's see it one more time.
It went past his shoulder, but it didn't touch him.
I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see it. So why is this important? The final stage of technocracy is when they get you to deny what you can see with your own eyes. This is bigger than a sports game. This is a test to see what the general population will swallow. Turns out, just about anything, dark times are coming. Right, 1984, the party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. Can they just arrest somebody with AI data without any other proof of them committing a crime? This is real and happening right now. A man was arrested because AI said that he was a 93% match for a crime, except the only problem is that he had never set foot in that city where the crime happened. He was arrested, he went to jail, and this is the key detail. Almost nothing about this was a malfunction. The technology did what it roughly does. The humans around it made a series of choices, and every one of them could have stopped this, but they didn't. Again, this chart is the test. They are literally using the largest circus, the World Cup, to test you to see just how much slop you're willing to accept over your own eyes and ears, over common sense.
I know what I saw, man. That ball did not touch his head. You can't convince me otherwise. Like you said, they're trying to get you to deny what you see with your own eyes and ears, bro. Playing in front of our faces, Seekers, man. Crazy work, bro. Like you said, that's just a stepping stone to something greater. He still pulled up. I wouldn't get up.
Get him pouring over the side here. Look at him.
I know.
That's crazy.
Insane.
I'm about to run the window.
No!
Where we had members of a group that claimed to be from the planet Arcturus. They all happen to be blonde-haired and blue-eyed, come from very wealthy families, and gone to Ivy League universities. Strange aliens among us. This is what they had to tell us on the January 20th, 1988 program of People Are Talking. On Arcturus, but you don't have one in Secaucus.
To whom? To whom do the changing thoughts that you're presenting to this audience appear, Richard? This is phenomenalism.
Manners known on Arcturus?
Americans, you're going into the most crucial period of Earth history, starting in May of next year. The terrible earthquakes, the storms that will beset humanity, the financial disasters. We must warn you. We're here to warn you of these things. We are sincere.
Okay, so you're saying next year...
Not phenomenalism and five-and-dime store stupidities, Richard. I talked to you behind the scenes about this.
I did talk to you behind the scenes, too. And you know what I think?
Yes, Richard.
Now, for the first time in the course of this interview, you are looking me in the eyes. And what you told me is, don't believe people who don't look you in the eyes. During the course of this interview, you have not looked me in the eyes. You've tried to project to the audience here.
I'm talking to them.
You want to know what I really think? I think you found some young, impressionable people who are on a quest for spiritual, moral values.
This is all fine. Richard?
And there may be...
This is all fine. This is fine. Brilliant, Richard.
What I believe is that I've afforded you every courtesy on this show.
Have manners. You'll never be a Ted Koppel unless you have manners. Well, you will always be what you are.
You know what? You'll never be a David Bowie unless you get a better story. We're going to take a break right now. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Guys, after 23 years, it is officially over. And today, millions of people around the world are in mourning. Messi fans, keep it stepping. Last night, we witnessed the last game Ronaldo will ever play at a World Cup, officially confirming that he will be ending his career with every record and accolade except a World Cup trophy. And now that it's time to say goodbye, it is incredible to see how much one player has achieved for his country. Before Ronaldo, Portugal had never won a trophy in their history. Today, they have 3. Not only will Ronaldo go down as having played the most international games in history, but he's also scored more international goals than any other player in men's footballing history. He was the first player to ever score 10 international hat-tricks. He's the only player to ever score in 6 World Cups. And at 41 years old, this year, he became the oldest player to score 2 goals in a single World Cup game, as well as the oldest player to ever score in a knockout game. But for now, from every football fan around the world, for all the years, for all the records, for all the incredible moments, for all you have done for the sport, thank you, Ronaldo.
Moment of silence, man, for Speed, bro. Okay, it's over, man. You know, Portugal out, bro. Ronaldo, like, that's kind of crazy, bro, that he never won a World Cup. With all those, with all he accomplished, man, you would think he won one, bro, but that's just how life is sometimes, man. Who's Seekers? Tell me down below, man. What team are y'all rooting for now in the World Cup?
Like, they gave him wanted. I walked out as like Jay-Z, and I don't know. He just did like the fucking Freemason symbol, and it was just like, I don't know. No one really goes at Jay-Z in those industry settings, right? So it was like fucking savage.
Breaking news, a magnitude 6 earthquake hit off the coast of Sinaloa, Mexico, today at 12:45 local time. As of now, no major damage or injuries or tsunami threat. What's interesting is Sinaloa doesn't get many 6s. The last comparable one was in 2012. Coincidentally, I was noticing today we have finally lost the ionospheric anomaly over Venezuela, which can be caused by lightning or solar activity, but scientists also look at a possible correlation between the earthquake itself causing the disturbance, which seems to be what happened in Venezuela with their rock having a piezoelectric quality, which means when it's compressed, it can give off a charge, kind of like when you use a little Bic lighter. There's a little piezoelectric crystal in there, and when you strike it, the charge ignites the gas in your lighter. With Venezuela, rock compressed in the earthquake and gave off a charge that went hundreds of kilometers up into the atmosphere. And that is why we have been seeing this disturbance in the electron content of the ionosphere. What that does is affect GPS and navigation and satellites, which is why it's monitored. I did just see this today over California and the West Coast, so hopefully that is not a clue of things to come. Venezuela, we see you, the world sees you, and we are all praying for miracles. To everyone, I hope you are safe as always, and I'll see you in the comments. Take care.
Scientists dropped a batch of ordinary human stem cells in a dish and added no sperm, no womb, and no egg. And the stem cells assembled themselves into a structure that copies a 2-week-old human embryo. The Weizmann Institute did it. No fertilization of any kind, just stem cells that, in the right conditions, self-organized into a complete model of a 14-day embryo placenta yolk sac, the earliest structure, all forming in the right places. And to be clear, because it matters, this is a model. It's not a baby. It can't become one. It's a working copy of the blueprint built from scratch outside a body. The intentions are good. Study why pregnancies fail, grow tissue for transplants, and maybe also test drugs safely. But sit with what just happened. The earliest blueprint of a human now being self-assembled with no parents involved. Right now, it's only a model, but the gap between a model of an embryo and an actual embryo is only one breakthrough away. If you want to stay updated on more dystopian tech news, then sign up for my free newsletter through the link in my bio. But as always, think about it, let me know what you think, and follow me.
Made it. Wow. Okay, so something a little different. So, what was your inspiration for tonight? Be honest with me and go into detail.
To share that quite yet, are you?
Weird.
It's a secret. I love it.
That was a good question, Eric. Stump me.
I know you're speaking to your fans with this one. These cryptic messages. I mean, Gaga, is this promo for the film or for your new single? What are you trying to tell us, Gaga? It's a secret.
I was looking at this for quite a while, and once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. Everyone is debating whether these messages are about her acting career or her music career. But that's exactly what they want you to focus on. Look how the visual language here matches her 2010 era. It's the same symbol, the same myth-making routine, and it's being recycled like clockwork. Does it feel like art to you? Or does it feel like a script that is written by someone else? Be honest, what do you see when you look at it? Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
Not ready to share that quite yet, are you? It's a secret. I love it.
Morning. Can you believe that we woke up to an employee who has been fired from Campbell's because he recorded the vice president of Campbell's Soup stating that he doesn't eat Campbell's soup. He said only the poor people eat Campbell's soup. He said ain't no way he putting that shit in his mouth because they bioengineer meat. He said he's not eating no 3D printed meat.
And what is the coincidence of the next video that pops up on my FYP is this lady who is sorting through her pantry and going through her canned food and getting food ready for the holidays, and she comes across this. Y'all check this out.
Starting to move things around, and I noticed this, and I was like, what the heck is that? And I kept searching.
It gets worse.
Look at this. One of my cans did this little number. Like, what the hell is that?
What is that?
And it's supposed to have like another year. So that's concerning.
It's
The other
Campbell's.
thing, I was like, what the hell is going on here? It sprung a leak from the side of the can.
What is that?
What the? Oh my gosh, there's another one. It's stuck to the wall.
Wow.
What the hell would cause that?
This whole time we've never really been eating food. I hope you guys know that, man. Like, you guys have no idea what you're eating. And it's always been like that since the very beginning. You really think they really cared about us from the very beginning when it came to food? You really believe that? Yes, I'm not denying that the food has gotten a lot worse, but just look at people back in the day as well too, man. Like, people were still in the same stages that they are now. But yeah, what is that, y'all? What the heck is this? The shift is here, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get it.
The Voyager had a camera that could zoom right into the Earth. What year would it be?
It would be 2016, because the Voyager is 18 light hours away. Isn't that concerning?
So did y'all see that the Catholic Church removed a priest as an exorcist because he said UFOs and all the attention around aliens is actually demons? So Monsignor Stephen Rosetta said the following about the alien activity, and I quote with all this. He said, as an exorcist, I wanted to raise the danger, and that is that demons like to hide. They don't want us to know what they're doing because they're more effective when we don't realize it. They can kind of get into your head, you know, and manipulate things in the world to influence us to do evil. It's my personal belief that probably many, if not most, of the UFO sightings are in fact demons. And after he said all of this, the Catholic Archbishop of Washington, D.C., Cardinal Robert McElroy, removed him as an exorcist. He also cut ties with the nonprofit that same exorcist or ex-exorcist ran. And he said that the statements linking UFOs to demonic presences and the center's recent use of social media gravely undermine the church's very precise teachings on the devil, demons, and exorcism. You know, and I've had multiple people in my comments say that aliens are actually demons, and I don't normally touch religion, but I still thought this would be a good one to talk about.
That isn't the first time we heard that theory, man. A lot of people have been coming up with that theory lately that aliens were actually demons hidden in disguise. So the priest lost his job by saying that. I wonder why. Is there some truth to that, man? Credence to his theory?
So then I step out, watch, look. Right there. Boom.
They came out of nowhere.
They
disappeared.
Damn.
So like there was like nothing on the floor right now?
Well, you realize you're making a very bold claim, which is you're saying that embodied consciousness existing inside bodies is the exception to the rule.
That's what the mathematics that I'm working on, and I should mention my colleagues, Chetan Prakash and Robert Prentner and Manish Singh and Manifa Hermanson and others that I'm working with. It's the work that we're doing. So it's not just me. It's a whole group of us that and this new trace logic that we're working on really it just. When you look at it and ask, okay, what are bodies? How do they appear in this logic of experiences? Body embodiment is very, very small. But of course, there's a lot to explain about this whole trace logic because it's a mathematical foundation that's entirely non-physical. It's all about consciousness. So we'll probably need to go into the notion of consciousness and of observation and why we need to start science there and so forth.
I want to get into the trace logic and sort of flesh that out. But you would also have to say that you'd expect predictions and observations of non-human disembodied intelligence that's disembodied in a way that's adaptive beyond humans all over the universe. The universe would be teeming with life that is more advanced than humans and also doesn't have traditional bodies. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, the mathematics seems to indicate that, again, embodiment is the exception, not the rule.
Mm-hmm.
And that our particular kind of view of the world, the kind of, I'll call it a headset, the virtual reality headset that we're using for our embodiment is one of the more trivial kinds of headsets. So we have often the opinion of ourselves that we're pretty much near the top of the
food chain
here on Earth anyway. It certainly looks like it for most of us, and that we're the most intelligent things around and so forth. But when I look at the mathematics of this trace logic, it indicates that our headset is one of the cheapest, most restrictive possible, and that there are all sorts of variations that are far more interesting and complicated than what we've got.
So we ran a one headset, bro. Got it. Let me find out, man. We got some aliens around me right now, bro. Listen to our freaking video, man. It's an interesting theory, bro. What we gotta do to upgrade our headsets, though, man, so we can actually see them around us.
Theory that all of the people who are dreaming about mall worlds are also people who were formerly in gifted and talented programs in school. And a lot of weird stuff went on in these programs.
What you mean?
A lot of people remember hearing tests. Headphones were put on our heads and weird little tones were played.
I remember this.
So the hearing test, pink drink, so a little couple pink stuff that we were supposed to drink. A lot of people were like, well, that was just mouthwash, but was it? A lot of kids remember being taken off campus to like weird locations.
I wasn't taken off campus.
That's good. But people will say that Mall World is implanted in the heads of children who were in this GATE program. Because GATE was like a CIA training program, essentially, or a screening program.
Whoa.
Shame on Netflix, because they just dropped this Michael Jackson verdict documentary, and it just feels like they're trying to make people hate Michael Jackson all over again. Because if Michael Jackson was really this monster they tried to paint him off as, then why does it feel like they left stuff out? For example, they show Gavin Arvizo saying, "Michael told me, if you love me, you'll sleep in the bed." But they cut out the part where Michael said he slept on the floor. Now, my thing is, if you genuinely believe Michael did it, why cut that part out? Why not show the whole thing? And here's my problem with documentaries like this. They don't just tell you what happened, they tell you what they want you to think happened. I have always believed that Michael was mentally still a child. The guy literally built a theme park in his house. He had a zoo. You can even just listen to the way that he talks during his interviews. And I know people are gonna say, well, it's weird for a grown man to be around many kids. Okay, then where were the parents? Because nobody ever talks about the fact the parents were allowing the kids to stay with Michael in the first place. Then you've got the timing of this documentary. Michael starts being celebrated again. A whole new generation is rediscovering him. And suddenly we're doing this all over again. Now look, you don't have to agree with me, but after watching this documentary, I can't help but feel like they're trying so hard to convince people that Michael was a monster, while the actual monsters in Hollywood somehow never get documentaries written about them. Just saying.
Nobody talks about the time when young Leo DiCaprio had some wild theories.
This is confidential, but the Mona Lisa here isn't really the Mona Lisa.
So over 30 years ago, DiCaprio reveals why he thinks the Mona Lisa in the Louvre is fake.
Supposedly some guys really stole it and it's like a replica because they have it like this behind this little thin piece of glass, and I'm like, you know, I could have just gone in there and taken it home, put it under my jacket.
Then Leo connects the dots in the funniest way possible.
But I'll believe it just for the sake that, you know, I have the same name as Da Vinci.
Moments ago, we learned aliens have visited Earth, and they include bipedal aliens, meaning aliens with 2 feet, and plasmoids, which are blobs of energy, according to a high-ranking military whistleblower. This high-ranking military whistleblower also says he was getting information from spies, American spies, about other countries retrieving crashed UFOs. At one point, this high-ranking military member met with a congressional committee under top-secret conditions, and a congressman unsuccessfully tried to interrupt the meeting. Bureaucrats also tried to retaliate against this one specific high-ranking military whistleblower after he testified about aliens to Congress. Donald Trump has ordered the declassification and release of the UFO files, and that began last month on May 8. We are expecting more to come out as the year goes on.
My question is, like, why are they like slowly just releasing the alien, the UFO files, like, I guess month by month? It seems like what they're doing. Why not just release it all at once, drop it all at once, so we could all scour through the files, man, see for ourselves, bro. And we have it's like slowly feeding us, slowly dripping it out, man, instead of just handing us the information. You talking about alien forms with balls of energy? Bro, there's so many freaking alien forms coming out, man. We can't keep up with all of them. Regular painting. So they're underneath the paintings, those x-ray pictures? Right in front of our face, man.
This is a
robot factory where the robots are building themselves. It's the brand new NEO facility by 1X in the Bay Area. And you can see the robots walking around helping the human workers to build more robots. It's pretty wild. Now, 1X factories are super unique in that their supply chain is vertically integrated. They're making nearly all their own parts, the actuators, the motors, the limbs, AI models, everything in-house. So around this entire factory, you've literally got blocks of raw aluminum that turn into arms and legs. Now, the interesting part about this factory is why they wanted to vertically integrate in the first place. And the reason was to emulate Ford in the early days of car manufacturing. If they could control everything themselves, from the raw materials to the arms and legs, they can speed up experimentation and reduce iteration cycles. And this is how they've been able to stay one of the most competitive companies in the space. Now, 1X is also different in that their flagship robot, NEO, is designed for maximum safety with humans. Their unique tendon system creates super gentle movements, and the robots are covered in this really soft fabric, all designed to minimize potential injury when interacting in the home. Now, 1X will be the first humanoid company to start shipping robots to people's homes this year, and they'll be packed up and delivered in these megapods. They're currently on sale on their website for $20,000, and their goal in this vertically integrated factory is to produce 10,000 robots this year. Now, we are still in the very early innings of what the future of robotics, especially humanoids, is going to look like. Whether it's Optimus, Figure, 1X, or Unitree in China, it feels like we're about to take another massive leap forward in all of robotics. And that leap will be recursive manufacturing, where the robots start building themselves.
Robots are building themselves, man. What happens if they put like a secret code in them that's gonna allow them to revolt in the future, man? And we just not pick it up on it now, bro. That's my theory, man. If I walk into somebody's house, man, they got a Neo robot, I'm out. Simple as that.
This is the world's largest conspiracy theory iceberg. And in this TikTok, we're gonna go through each and every single one. Moving on, we got the McFly code. This theory basically states that Back to the Future and all of its sequels predicted the future. Basically what the theory says is that by hiding images within the movie, they were able to basically warn the future or maybe set the future in motion. But what is believed is by putting these things in the movie, they actually set course human history to make these things happen. Virtual reality, flat screen TVs, Google Glass, holograms. And some people think that this has a much bigger meaning to it. But as you know, we got a long way to go, cuz.
The World Cup opening ceremony. Now, this is what I call art. Okay. I see a lot of celebrities do that. Not bad at all. I heard it means diamonds are forever. Not sure what's going on over here, guys. Maybe that's her favorite shape. My favorite shape is circles, and hers must be triangles. A lot of people do it. It's cool. It's nothing to worry about. I used to play with blocks. They used to come with rectangles, triangles, and stuff like that, guys. Maybe they showing us something. Maybe they not. Maybe it's a part of the rehearsal, part of the show, part of the dance that they came up with. This is cool stuff. They always show us at the big events, the big concerts, and things like that, guys. So it's been going on for a while now. Nothing to worry about. Is what celebrities and, you know, famous people do. There was actually a lot of interesting things going on at that opening ceremony at the World Cup. But you guys got to see it for yourself to see all the good stuff. You're missing out. There's a few things going on over there that have nothing to do with soccer. But I guess it's popular and it's just a cool thing to do. Shh! Shut up! You know what time is it, guys? And it's time for you to go watch it because this video is for entertainment purposes only, guys. Go check it out. The World Cup 2026. Let's go. I don't know. Who knows? Let me know. I'm out.
I said, but that the World Cup, man, on the world stage is going to expose some secret messages. So I'm not surprised. Seeing people do that, freaking, you know, all the celebrities do that freaking hand signal all the time, man. The fact that it was at the World Cup, biggest freaking event that's going on right now in the world. What do you think? Okay, he's the Hulk, bro.
Oh, what the hell? Okay.
He different.
You talk about masonry. This is masonry right here. This is equivalent to this. And this, when you read the Bible, when it describes the beast, is everything. The 4 crowns, the mouth of the lion, the 10 lions, the body of the leopard. When they describe the beast in Revelation, this is what they talk about. They talk about the British Empire. The little horn, the Knight of the Order, the unicorn, the eyes of man, you know what I mean? The crown of heaven, the 4 beasts. It's all there. So, to show you, he put that There go the Earth. There go Crowley. That's Aleister Crowley. He's showing you. Wow. Here go the little black baby holding the skull of the Triceratops. Wow.
Now, this footage shows the interdimensional beings from the Miami Mall incident. Now, it only showed 2 seconds of these beings before the phone had malfunctioned. But in these 2 seconds, you can clearly see what these beings look like. Look at this. Then the phone just stopped working. This was the only recording they was able to get.
That's the only recording? Need some
Oh
more.
hell, here we go. This guy's convinced that Elon Musk is one of those, and he says, check out his eye right there. Uh-oh. Is that what we think it is, or is that just like a really bad case of conjunctivitis? Y'all tell me what you think. Hold on, where is it? Right there. Ooh, he's convinced. Y'all tell me what you think in the comments.
What I have been shown is that the negative extraterrestrials that have been a very distorted force in the enslavement of humanity have been, and this is the most recent information, have ran simulations, projection models to try to distinguish if there's any possibility of them altering the anomaly that they're seeing, which is this incredible force of evolution that's happening in the collective frequency. And so they were doing these projected models of, if they did this, could they distort this anomaly? Could they stop it? And then what I've been told is they've determined that within 19 years, the certain factions of reptilian races won't be able to actually exist in the frequency and be alive in this energy. And so they've come up with this evacuation plan of sorts, where some are just leaving now and others have to leave within specific times. Some of them are, I don't know where they're going, I just know they're leaving. And recently, one of the most beautiful things that I've seen, that they've shown to me, that's very specific to this now moment, is
oh, so they're packing up and leaving. Good, bro. Leave, reptilians, we don't want you here, man.
I was out here in the yard just working, and this just bit me. Here's a picture of it.
The hell is that?
I don't know what that is. It looks like a mosquito that's been taking steroids. I'm at a loss for words. I've never seen anything like that. If you know what it is, please tell me. Am I gonna die? That's all I need to know.
I have no clue what that was, man, Seekers, but let me tell you something. That wasn't no damn mosquito. If it was Jushin, bro. Man. Why do freaking new bug species is now just being discovered in the year 2026, bro?
This woman right here is going viral because she hit somebody's car and didn't want to leave her insurance information. We about to watch this video. Let's look at it and y'all let me know what y'all think about it.
She just hit this vehicle here, and she doesn't want to leave her insurance information because she says that there's no damage. It's the right thing to do. Okay. If someone did it to your car, you would want them to leave information also. And then scrapes I have on this car for probably because you make turns.
Because you hitting people.
Damn, it happens when I'm parked somewhere.
Channel on Karen Crown.
You can't drive off my ass. Hey, bitch, leave your fucking
Oh my
insurance
gosh.
information, or I'm.
That's insane. I don't know why she just went off like that. I mean, I get it. You know, people go through things. I understand it. I most definitely understand it. But I don't understand why she just went off like that. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't her vehicle. I get it. I most definitely get the principle of it. I most definitely do. But it's not your vehicle. You can't control. That's the thing that people don't understand. You cannot control what other people do. You can't. If you gonna call the cops, call the cops. If you not, leave the lady alone. Y'all let me know who's wrong in this situation though. I don't know. I'm just saying I'm not going that hard. if that ain't my business. That's all I'm saying. I can follow for more.
People are going wild over this Mandela effect.
About what?
So a man posted that he made a commercial for Doritos. The whole internet is going crazy because this commercial never made it to TV.
Okay.
But everybody remembers his commercial being played and seen.
Are those Doritos?
Yeah.
Can I have one?
Yeah, right. That'll happen the day the pigs can shoot lasers out of their...
Because for me, I feel like I've seen it on television.
Okay.
And specifically, Canadians have seen it.
Wait, but in the actual one that came out, did the lasers get shot?
No. Oh, dead ass?
Hey, Ralph, can I have a Dorito?
Sure. When pigs fly.
I remember that.
Hey, Ralph.
So theory is, in a different reality, his commercial got picked to play on TV. Yeah, but whatever happened, timelines changed, dimensions changed, and his commercial isn't out anymore.
There is one team that shouldn't be in the World Cup, but against all odds, they are. We're talking about a nation that has a smaller population than the attendance of single matches that have been played before. And while most describe their qualification as a miracle, others are calling it a scam. And here is why. You see, Curacao qualifying for the most competitive football tournament in the world shouldn't be possible for a number of reasons. Firstly is this Caribbean island is so small that you can literally drive from one end to the other in less than an hour. So the chances of finding world-class footballers here are close to zero. I mean, India has 1.4 billion people to choose from, and yet they still have never participated. To make it crazier, Curacao didn't qualify for the World Cup in South Africa because their national team didn't even exist yet. It was only formed in 2011. Oh, and don't even get me started on budgets. Curacao as a whole is among the smallest economies in the entire world. Apple makes the entire nation's GDP in less than a week. I mean, just look at the vehicle they rocked up in to their farewell match. So by all measurements, this is an incredible achievement. But there's another side to this team qualifying that doesn't fit this fairy tale narrative. Because you might not know, but Curacao isn't even an independent country. They're technically an autonomous region within the Kingdom of the Netherlands. And have a guess at how many players on the 26-man squad were actually born in Curacao. 10? Half? The answer is 1. The rest mostly grew up in the Netherlands, one of the best footballing countries in the entire world. So after a national team was formed in 2011, Curacao systematically hunted down Dutch players, particularly the ones that had Curacao-born parents or grandparents, but were never able to crack the first team in the Netherlands, and then convince them to flip and play for Curacao. And that's why a lot of people are arguing that this feels like a loophole. But ultimately, what do you guys think? Is Curacao qualifying a miracle or a scam?
Y'all, I've been saying for like 2 years that a lot of these planes that people have been seeing and recording, especially during the daytime, are not actual planes. But I came across this creator, his name is NoobDad75, and he used his digital skills to prove what I've finally been saying. Look at this video.
This is a military, supposedly a military aircraft. We're gonna take a close look at this one today because nothing makes sense. Look at the one engine. It's like on top of the plane, supposed engine, right? Look at this thing. Okay, now, also pay close attention to this spot. A few frames here. Just look at this thing. No, clear that this isn't a plane, but now we're gonna put the filter on it. See how you can see the red? Now we're gonna go ahead and pause it, zoom in on this. You can see the hole. Adjust the level here. Yeah, right there. You guys see the hole, right? Now watch this. Look at this. Now you can see that it's actually like 4 to 5 different entities combined, making up the craft. This is clearly NHI, non-human intelligence. This is not a plane.
He proved what I've been saying, because every time I see him, they almost look see-through, like shimmery, or the dimensions of the plane don't make sense and don't look right, or they're silent as crap even though they look like huge passenger planes or huge military planes. They're super silent. You don't hear anything even though they seem like they're really close. I don't know what the purpose is and with the chemtrails, if that's what they are, but I know that this is like the almost perfect camouflage. put something in the sky that looks like something that they would see every day, a plane or a helicopter. And they almost would have got away with it if it wasn't for them pesky kids and their digital technology. So what y'all think? Let your girl know in the comments.
What they saying? Planes. We got I guess our technology for planes and aircrafts from something else. They said it was an NHI, non-human entity. But when that red started showing up all over the plane though, I was starting to see the bigger picture, man. Can't lie to you. I didn't even think about it like that, man. Until now.
For the love of God, I need help. I got home 2 hours ago. And there's a limb just floating in the air. And I've been all over Google. I can't figure out for the life of me what the hell is going on. It's just... Hold on. It's just floating there. As far as I zoom in on...
Glitch in the Matrix.
But I can't figure it out. It's just floating.
Ow. I see no tree.
Like talking about spider webs and all kinds of stupid crap. But it rained here like shortly after I got home, and it's still there. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I just can't figure it out.
I have no idea how that's even happening.
Right under it. Like, what the? I need help. I done talked to one of my neighbors. He is dumbfounded. I've done thrown stuff at it, and I can't hit it. It just seems like it goes right through it. But what the crap? Look at it. Like, I ain't making nothing up. It's like 20 feet in the air. Maybe 30. I don't know. I ain't good at distance. But it doesn't make sense. Somebody help me. And please, for the love of God, don't let it be them stupid people that we live in a matrix. No, we don't.
So these are FBI agents, and they have screenshots of comments that the person recording this video made online. And what he asks him is shocking, and part of me wants to say, be careful what you say online, but I mean, you know, within free speech, like, there's a balance here, right? You got to hear this interaction, because I know a lot of you guys comment stuff like this. And is this setting an example, or did they really think this 29-year-old guy was about to do something crazy? Maybe, but just listen to this.
No. Any intention of harming Bill Gates? No. Good to go. Thank you. All right. That's
What the heck is that? Dude, this is crazy. I'm just letting you guys know. I love you guys, right? But you guys got to remember that we are basically at a point in our country where we don't know who's here to help us and who's not here to help us anymore. So I do this because I see it as our future children are gonna basically need help. You know what I mean? They're not gonna have the option of an American dream and like the next 2 generations.
The thing is, I can't get around, if I talk about ticks, you guys comment and say that damn owner of Microsoft, man. But I don't think he's behind any of this stuff. I think he's the puppet front man. I think this is much bigger than, same with Elon Musk. Whatever people think Elon Musk's up to, I see these guys as nothing but characters fulfilling the plan and the agenda of the thing bigger and, you know, darker and more mysterious behind that. So I feel like we got guys like Trump and Musk and Gates as like the guys to point fingers at and get the public rallied, you know, riled up about. But I don't think they're behind any of this stuff. But regardless, it is shocking that they would show up to his house and ask him about commenting about the owner of Microsoft. Very strange. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Was this overstepping, or were they assessing the situation? And follow for more.
I thought you gotta be careful what you're saying online, man. People be saying some wild stuff, man. I just showed you, man. People are watching, bro. So if you say anything too out, they will come knocking at your door, bro. But like he said that he thinks Trump, Elon Musk, and them, they're all just, I guess, the front man, just really somebody behind the strings pulling the behind the scenes, you know, pulling their strings? Who would they be? It's the real question.
Thought one giant sinkhole tearing Indonesia apart was bad? Tell me why they just found 700 sinkholes opening up in Turkey. And y'all, these things are not small either. They're talking about 150 feet deep and 150 feet wide. These things can swallow up buildings. Look at that. Don't that look like an eye? What the? Look at this, y'all. These things are giant.
This is one of 700 sinkholes that have opened up across Turkey. As you can see, they're not small ones. These are gigantic. Here's another one that opened up right in the middle of a farmer's field. You can see how large this is. So here's a video of the vastness of some of these sinkholes that was put out by the London Daily Mail. And they look like meteor craters. They're so big. These are drones that are flying inside of the sinkholes throughout Turkey. Like I said, there are 700 of these. And apparently in the book of Numbers, they talk about sinkholes opening up like this sometime, and apparently this is happening all throughout Turkey very rapidly. I didn't really realize it was quite so.
And here's the crazy thing. I read up on Turkey, and apparently they have a whole bunch of underground cities there, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But do you guys believe this has anything to do with this? Because whenever we hear about this, y'all, we never hear the ending to this, right? We'll see this, so many people will videotape this, but we never hear anything related to this. Like, why? What is this? What is this, y'all? And then there's actual books that speak about this. When we see this, you know, this is like a bad omen, you know, but in a good way, right? The endings, beginnings. But yeah, y'all, giant sinkholes open up in Turkey. Not one of them, but 700, y'all. But yeah, something is definitely happening under there, y'all. The bunkers, y'all, remember? Let me know down in the comments, y'all. The shift is here. Let's continue to get...
At around 3 inches the morning, when the world was completely asleep, someone captured a piece of footage that feels deeply unsettling. The sky suddenly began flashing with an unnatural red light over and over again, like some kind of signal being transmitted. And then a red object tore across the night sky, except it wasn't alone. More and more fireball-like objects started appearing and falling rapidly from above. But what happens next is where things become truly disturbing instead of disappearing. After hitting the ground, these objects began moving at extreme speed across the surface as if they were searching for something, and then without warning, they stretched into vertical beams of light gliding slowly across the ground like they were scanning the entire area. And just when it seemed like it couldn't get any stranger, all of the beams suddenly converged into one point and vanished instantly, leaving no trace and no explanation. Some people claim this is something we were never meant to see, while others refuse to talk about it at all. So if you saw this with your own eyes, how would you explain it?
I never seen a phenomenon like that before, bro. That looked like a scene out of freaking Stranger Things, man. That's exactly what it looks like, bro. I have no explanation for that, man. Maybe orbs. That's the only logical thing I can think of.
This looks like a person with his arm sticking out.
They do. It's like glitching.
Oh my God, get my left.
What is that?
I don't know, that's like a person almost.
2018, a Chinese scientist created the world's first genetically edited babies. He went to jail for it for 3 years. Now he's out and he's doing it again. Meet He Jiankui. He edited 3 human embryos using CRISPR before they were born. Twin girls Lulu and Nana arrived in November 2018. 1 year later, a third baby, Amy. His plan was to make them immune to HIV by deleting a gene called CCR5, but he didn't ask permission from anyone. China locked him up in 2019 for illegal medical practices, 3 years behind bars, and a $429,000 fine. He was banned from science. The kids are still out there. He says they're fine living normal lives somewhere in China, but he won't say where and won't confirm if the editing worked. April 2025. He's setting up a new lab in Austin, Texas, with 2 assistants already working there, planning to continue gene editing research, but China took his passport and he can't leave the country. So he's running the lab from Beijing remotely, and he's done apologizing. He said ethics is holding back scientific innovation, and there will be more designer babies without a doubt. Those 3 kids are 7 years old now, and nobody knows if they're okay.
Texas man just drove a Cybertruck into a lake to show off to tourists. But what the cops did that had insult to injury topped everything. 70-year-old Jimmy Jack McDaniel was demonstrating Wade mode, a feature that raises the vehicle and seals the battery so the truck can cross shallow water. But Jimmy had a different definition of shallow, went way too deep, the truck completely died and sank. As if voiding his warranty wasn't bad enough, the police showed up and made his day so much worse. They ticketed him for not having a valid boat registration for his Cybertruck, cited him for lacking onboard life jackets, then arrested him for driving in a closed area of the lake.
They're so close to the scariest, most dystopian system. This is what the drive to build all these thousands of data centers is about, to micromanage the world's population through the new financial world order. AI is really about that. We're heading towards digital control systems where we have no more control over our liquid assets. It will be programmable, permission-based, so only what the central planners allow you to use your money for, at what time and place and location will be permitted. And if you're in the wrong place, it's not going to work. And if you're buying the wrong book, it's not going to work. Your money won't work outside a certain zone, whether it's 15-minute prison zone or whatever it may be. It is the totalitarian dictator's dream come true.
You gotta stop with those AI freaking data centers, man, popping up, bro. Truly, man, it's scary, man. Like I said, there's none in my area right now. I hope it stays that way, but now it looks like it's only a matter of time, man, before one start popping up, bro.
Was injected into your eye to numb it before a tiny cut would be made. Then the sides would be lifted up to create a small pocket, so a tiny charm could be slid inside. And when it healed, you would have a tiny heart sitting on your eye. But the pocket makes it easy for bacteria to get inside, which could cause serious damage. But even though it can make you blind, it's still perfectly legal in the Netherlands.
What's a freaked out boomer? Because Fox News just went on and disclosed the 4 different types of aliens are not just in space, but on this planet living among us. They're finally catching up. Listen to this and tell me, have you seen any of these? All of them are hard to. Here it
4
is.
different species of aliens.
These are the 4.
Other scientists called them greys, Nordics,
right there.
insectoids,
right there.
and reptilians.
And in the middle.
All of them have 2 arms and 2 legs,
Just like us.
Yep. Experts speculate the reptilians are scaly with long tails.
It's
like a lizard.
reptile.
Insectoids look like a praying mantis.
Insects, of
the
course.
Greys look like your classic movie alien.
Big
and the
head.
Nordics
Nice.
look like a regular Swedish guy, but 7 feet tall.
They're us and beautiful.
We haven't seen the evidence, but
Our
Big
cousins.
Seth says more evidence is coming.
People
And
have.
there are a lot of believers in Congress.
There are things we cannot explain, and I
Listen to her.
have observed things that are of non-human
There
origin
it
and
is.
creation.
They're also living among us in hiding right now in disguise. Have you seen one of these? Or do you think we're one? What do you guys think?
That's it.
Okay, so out of the freaking Nordics, reptilians, the Greys, and the insectoids, I think the one I've seen is the Nordics. Has to be, right? That's the one that has the most resemblance to a human, man. We know about the Greys. We've heard the theory about like saying how they from a different time, like in the future, man, they underground. That's why they look like that. The P-47, P-52s, but I think I've seen the Nordic before, Seekers. Tell me down below, man. Drop your emoji. Which species or aliens you've seen before, man?
Anybody notice that the birds, the deers, raccoons, they will not eat grocery store vegetables anymore? Like, I put out 3 cans of tuna for the feral cats that live in my neighborhood 3 days ago. They haven't touched it. These are hungry cats. They won't eat this tuna. I went out there after putting grapes that I got from a major retailer, starts with a K. I don't want TikTok to come after me. I put celery, grapes, and some green pepper and broccoli that I let sit in my crisper too long, and I didn't want it in my salad. I took it out there. It's still sitting out there. I seen the birds pick at it, and they didn't want it. I seen the deer walk right over top of it. I've literally got peaches out there that I got from another big box store not Aldi. Everything I have bought from Aldi under the organic section, if I put it out there, the animals, they go right after it. But that store that starts with a K, if the animals don't want to eat it, man, I'm done shopping at that place.
UFO and meteor over Mount Mayon, one of the most perfect and deadly volcanoes on Earth, was erupting with rivers of molten lava, and then something from the stars arrived. For months, Mayon had been alive. Lava flowing, rocks tumbling, thousands evacuated from the danger zone, and exactly at 10:33 p.m, a brilliant fireball streaks across the sky, plunging directly towards the northern slopes. And 5Volt's camera catches it all, and it looks like an impact. Officials say this was a meteor that burned up high in the atmosphere. No impact, case closed. But the internet and thousands watching live aren't buying it. Now, as people were focused on the meteor itself, many missed this. A fireball vanished into the volcanic fire and something emerged. A glowing orb rising slowly, deliberately, flying back over the erupting summit. Watching, waiting, almost answering a call. Now, could this just be coincidence once again, or could this be something more? A probe even? And for many years, whenever there's a volcano erupting, there is UFOs or other objects flying in or around them. So whether there's some sort of connection to do with the energy produced there, or it's a gateway, or something going on beyond our physical comprehension, who knows? But the funny thing, whenever there is an anomaly caught on TV, they always mysteriously cut out the piece which is the most interesting. And then it's up to us to decipher what's actually going on.
It's a gateway. I'm calling him now.
Just wrapped his trip to China, and it might actually be his craziest trip yet. From claims to his first ever sip of alcohol, being accused of peeking at President Xi's notepad, and probably regretting bringing Elon. Here's what happens. Firstly, from the very moment that Trump and his plane full of billionaires and CEOs touched down, he got a hero's welcome, fit for an ally. I mean, the extravagance almost makes you forget that they're fierce rivals. Now, of course, one of the most anticipated moments, as always, is the handshake battle. This one, I can call it a draw. But despite the sternness of the body language, what came out of their mouths was pretty cute. Honestly, both just kind of glazed each other the entire time, saying they're friends and that China and the US should be partners, not rivals. Ironically, though, it was actually Elon Musk that stole the show. So many fans swarmed him for pictures, but he even got some pictures of his own, too. Now, of course, it's not a Trump trip without some online drama, because later that day, they had a banquet where Trump was seen sipping on what looked like a bit of champagne. So, of course, people raced online saying, holy hell, Trump just broke his lifelong sobriety out of respect for Xi Jinping. However, his former advisor insists that this definitely wasn't alcohol. On top of that, there's a clip going around showing Trump looking like he's glancing at President Xi's personal notepad. Also, turns out that clip is doctored, and it was actually just him looking at his own speech. But the big question in all of this is, tell me the deals. Well, somewhat surprisingly, considering they assembled the entire Avengers for this, not a single deal has been officially confirmed yet. However, Trump is claiming that China agreed to purchase 200 Boeing planes with the possibility of more in the future, as well as an agreement from China to buy a bunch of soybeans. So, soybeans and planes. Kind of expect a little more, but what do you guys think? Was this a successful trip to China or big old nothing burger?
And for the ones that's in denial, I'm here to let you know. We all want the Spurs to win, but it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Did y'all see that game last night? Look, everybody going crazy. Shea was out there doing his best work. I ain't going to lie, y'all. He was out there. Look what he was doing, though. And I keep telling y'all, come on now. I keep saying that Shea is not out there to play basketball. I keep telling y'all, Shea is not out there to play basketball. He is out there to manipulate the game, get the refs all on his side, and get to that free throw line. He is not out there trying to hoop. And the crazy thing is, it's not even just Shea at this point. It is the whole team. They keep calling unnecessary fouls, and the fouls that they need to call, guess what they're doing, y'all? They're not calling them. And I keep telling y'all, look, I know, I feel your pain, bro, I feel it. I want the Spurs to win, too. The most that's gonna happen is it'll probably go to a Game 7. But Spurs is not gonna come out on top. That's not what the league wants. Look at the coach, and they gave the coach a tech. That's not what the league want, y'all. It's what we want for sure. This is Stephon Castle.
You know, it's tough. I just think with the way they guard, how physical they are, we don't get that same luxury to be able to play as physical on the other end at times. But
wow.
The players saying
offensively, I think we do a good job of screening and playing through it. So I think we create a lot of advantages. But I think
like I said, last night was a terrible watch. And if y'all actually watched the fourth quarter, right? The fourth quarter was everybody was missing. And Spurs was only down by like 10 at one point. For a little minute, probably about 3-4 minutes, they was down 10. They most definitely had a chance to come back, but Spurs, y'all was playing sloppy. Not gonna lie. I get that the refs wasn't on y'all side last night. I get that, but y'all was playing very sloppy. Like, Wemby had a fast break, right? I forgot who had the ball. Wemby didn't have it yet, but he had an open fast break. Why are you running down the court and not paying attention to who got the ball in their hands? His teammate throws him the ball, and it just went straight past him. That's sloppy play. I'm just here to let y'all know what it is. I want the Spurs to win. I really do, but the league's not going to let that happen. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like and follow for more. Go OKC, I guess.
I think the league really rigged, man. But remember, they dropped that video confirming that they said how the freaking Knicks were gonna win against the Cavs. So I can't lie, man. I do think there's some. I ain't even gonna just confirm it, but maybe something going on behind the scenes, man. But I think Spurs OKC gonna go Game 7, man. When that happens, I don't know who's gonna win, bro.
I just now finding out that the Argentine ants, they took over half of fucking California, and that they a super colony who uses multiple queens to go and recruit other colonies. The Argentine ants are at war with other ant colonies. I swear to God, look this up. I'm not crazy, trust me. I just found this out 30 seconds ago. The Argentine, since like the 1900s, like for over hundreds of years, like literally, real life, this is real life, the Argentine ants have been conquering the United States and other fucking regions. But I mean, they go to war. Look into the lore of ant wars. I'm just gonna start looking into it now.
Me too.
Ronald McDonald reminiscing. Shut up.
I wonder what he's thinking about. People are saying that Ronald McDonald is reminiscing on the past when everybody was going to his restaurant.
Sir, what are you talking about?
People still go there. I just seen the drive-thru and it was packed. To be honest with you, this picture is no different than this picture.
Sir,
remember, is what people are saying. I don't know why they would say that. Those are two different people. All I know is that something's going on with Ronald McDonald. And he seems alone in this cold world. Sir, not sure why they have this up in Ohio. A big Ronald McDonald. Something's going on with this, guys. And we all trying to figure out what this means. And it means absolutely nothing because this video is for entertainment purposes only. Ronald McDonald's reminiscing. That's all. He's good. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about this because this picture's kind of scary. I ain't gonna front. I'm out.
Let's come together as a society against AI slop. It is incredibly important. Over the past week or so, you may have seen some of these videos of women at baseball games, specifically Korean baseball games. Spoiler alert, they're not real. These are AI. Now, for some reason, it's become a trend for individuals to put themselves in these videos. They take their face, give it to the AI machine, and boom, they're there and they post it. It is now a trend. Although Camilla and Sophia are definitely their own kind of category of person, I've seen this from lots of different people. I really don't want to be the fun police here, but we have to shame it. We have to. These are the little moments for us. This is our battle. I hope you realize it. I don't want to make this into a bubble. This is our battle. If you see one of these in the street, you have to call out AI slop. That's AI slop. Get rid of it. Get a ban. We don't play that here. I don't play that. Get a ban.
This is the reason why I stay my ass out of the deep sea. I don't do cruises no more, and if it's not a bathtub or a pool, I'm not getting in it.
Smart.
I've seen a video where a woman said a blue whale is the same size as a 737 Boeing jet. You heard what I just said? I go down a rabbit hole and I find out that the blue whale is the biggest whale in the world. Saying that this whale can grow to be 110 feet long and weigh up to 165 tons. And people want to talk about let's go on a cruise. You got something swimming underwater the size of 3 school buses. 3 large school buses. Do you have any idea what 165 tons is? Look at this shit right here.
165 tons is basically 330,000 pounds. Come on, man. Nah. And this is what makes the ocean so scary. The ocean is right here on Earth, and it's still the most unexplored place here. People say they go to space, but they never say they explore the ocean. Do you know what's down there in that ocean?
Nope.
You got shit like this that's down there in that ocean. And then they say blue whales are peaceful. What about when they're not peaceful? What about if they ever feel like, you know what? I don't feel like being peaceful today. I don't want to find out. I'm out.
Booking a flight for my grandmother says $752, right? I didn't put any of her information in. She's a senior. Okay, I just want you to see that she is a senior, 1949. Right. The ticket's supposed to be $752. Based on traveler information provided, the price of your ticket has changed to $1,000 because she's a senior.
What?
So, United, you're charging people for being older? You're charging a senior tax? Okay, now I put my information in. My birthday, obviously not a senior. 752, right? Still $752. That's insane. United. What's going on with that? So you're charging people, elderly people, $250 more just because of their age? That makes no sense. None at all. We're not using you, United. You suck. What?
Really? An old tax man is actually crazy, bro. Just because a person's older, man, they just say, hey, man, we're just going to upcharge on that ticket, man. You too old, bro, to be flying. That's what they basically saying, man. So I don't know how many seats you guys using United, but you might want to check that out, man. Like, just put in an older age and see if the ticket price jumps. If that's true, that's actually very insane.
What the heck has been going on in Central America every single day, pretty much without fail since I started my daily weather show over a year ago? There appears to be an enormous plume of smoke or haze emanating from this region. The plume is consistently massive, often larger than Mexico itself, frequently pushes north toward or into the United States airspace, and it never seems to disappear. Now, I've considered natural causes like volcanic activity, wildfires, seasonal burning, dust, but given the persistent heat signatures, poor AQI, and the sheer scale and consistency of this plume, I'm starting to wonder if this is tied to widespread industrial pollution, agricultural burning, land clearing practices, or something else entirely. What's especially strange is how little international or local news coverage there seems to be about it, despite its enormous size and persistence of what's showing up on satellite and smoke maps. Locals, researchers, pilots, meteorologists, or anyone familiar with the region, what is exactly going on down there?
The technology to upload human consciousness to silicon chips, the ability to store a planet of human minds on a satellite powered by nuclear fusion is literally right at our fingertips. And if you can back up a mind on silicon, you can decide where it runs. That is where to run the program of that consciousness in the digital space. And this is where things get dark and also beautiful, because once consciousness is software, heaven and hell are no longer tied to religion. They become design choices. This idea is the basis behind the sci-fi novel Surface Detail. In its universe, advanced civilizations scan their citizens at death and upload them into vast simulations. The wealthy and powerful, the well-connected, these people are rewarded with designer paradise. Others wind up in code-based hells for eternity. It's possible we could see companies battling to host these digital afterlives in our lifetime.
I don't want
So now you're telling me that there's an underground city below Los Angeles that's been there for God knows how long?
But didn't I tell you stranger things have happened? Did I not tell y'all that the whole Epstein files, like all of that stuff, stranger things have happened? That is just scratching the surface. I'm telling you guys, have you seen that show called Paradise, I think it was called, where a huge catastrophe happened, and then this man, I believe he was part of like the military, and his family were moved to a city underground. And he figured out for the longest time the original elite have had an underground city all this time. Listen, there's a reason why the map of vanished people directly, for entertainment purposes only, the map of vanished people directly lines up with the map of the cave systems. Do y'all remember that mom in Disney? Okay, we're getting into the nitty gritty. Do y'all remember the mom in Disney that said that she saw the floor open in Disney and someone came up and tried to steal her daughter? Everybody said she was freaking insane. Mind you, there was other people that said they saw it too. Everyone's like, oh, they're just jumping on the bandwagon. They want clout. Stranger things have happened. The more you learn, the less you know. I'm telling you that right now. If we can find out that the top 1% are sacrificing to Moloch, and I can't even get into it without my video getting taken down. I might just have to do a longer form video on my YouTube, which is Kayla Lorraine, for those of you that be asking me that. I am not surprised that there is Subtropolis under there. They're trying to spin it as, oh, it's empty, it's been there for how long, and we're aware it's there, but nothing's happening. Honey, I hate to tell you this, but we don't believe anything y'all say anymore. Every time the news comes up here trying to say something is fake or a hoax, oh, it's just not being used, I already know. They're lying. Until you tell me what's really going on in Antarctica, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. I fully believe that Subtropolis is still being used right now for probably unspeakable things. God knows what they're using it for. Anyway, y'all, that's my daily dose of conspiracy. As always, make sure you like and follow. Comment down below what you think.
Subtropolis, man. You guys think, like she said, that they're still using it to this day? We've seen a couple of clips, man, but that one was a new one from a new angle I never seen before, man. Like she said, man, when people in the news, like, try to deny, say it don't exist or something like that, I think there's a slither of truth to know that it might actually exist, bro. But they just don't want to confirm it, man. Subtropolis, man. I'm gonna try to see if I can find some more clips for you guys. What is that? She's going towards it.
In my professional opinion, no, that isn't a mask. They just want you stuck on that level of truth, because if it was a mask, it wouldn't account for why his eyes changed colors from red to green, back and forth, 5 different times. Now, they're starting some narratives that they want you to believe, my friends, and, well, I'm going to explain it so you have a better grasp on what actual truth is instead of the nonsense they feed you. And first, yeah, they wear masks. They have been a long time, and I showed this for years, but they want you stuck at that level of truth, like I was for a little while. They make it obvious, so you get stuck there. Oh, and it was Jim Carrey playing Joe Biden. Don't believe me? Well, do you remember the time that JB fell going up the stairs to Air Force One? How interesting. How very interesting. And I'm going to let you watch the rest of this, and I've done several videos on this that you can go look up, because JC was JB. Interesting colors they got there too. And finish it off at the same time. Sure, JC wasn't JB.
My name is Jonna Mendez, and I was chief of disguise at the CIA. One of the things that was going on when I was chief of disguise was an enormous research program into the new advanced disguise system. It was basically the masks that everybody always wondered if we used masks, and this was the beginning. This is a series of photographs of when I met George H.W. Bush in the Oval Office and revealed to him that I was briefing him wearing a mask.
But like I said, they want you stuck at masks, and they even propagate it with nonsense like this that was clearly intentional, and other nonsense like this guy promotes.
So now you're telling me that a council known as the Galactic Federation has been monitoring our planet since the beginning. They apparently were going to make themselves known in 2027, but due to everything that's been going on Earth, they've moved it up to 2025. They are on their third level of presenting themselves. First, starting with the orbs last year, which a lot of people have seen. The second phase, their motherships, their modes of transportation, have been all around the entire world cloaked. Multiple places that I've seen the video. So there is apparently a council of 26, and there are the council of 5, which will be making their human presence known very soon to help us basically get through every bit of craziness that's been happening in our world right now.
See, his nonsense, and this nonsense, and this. 10 people tied to sensitive U.S. research surrounding UFOs and anti-gravity. Yeah, they're disappearing. Except when you know that stars aren't burning balls of gas quintillions of miles away, but just points of light very close that kind of look like a pool light shimmering in water. Well, it quickly crumbles down their narrative of space aliens coming from other galaxies because other galaxies don't exist. But they want you to think they do. Because there's something here with us, alright, and they've always been here, but it's not aliens. Well, do you ever notice how there are 4 different types of angels, too? There's a war going on, my friends, but it's not against aliens, it's against angels. The fallen variety, of course. And if you don't believe me, well, you should spend some time on my page from the last few months, because it's all of them. It's all of them. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. It's definitely a mask, and they definitely took him out because he knew sensitive information about UFOs. Entertainment only.
10 hours, 1 humanoid robot, and 1 intern named Amy. Figure AI set up a live stream challenge called Man vs. Machine. Their flagship FO3 humanoid robot went head-to-head with a college intern sorting packages on a warehouse floor. The task was simple. Spot a barcode, pick up the package, place it barcode down on a conveyor belt. Repeat. For 10 hours straight, AIM sorted 12,924 packages. The FO3 sorted 12,732. The human won by 192 packages at 2.79 seconds per package versus the robot's 2.83 seconds.
He won, bro. He got the dub.
The robot actually overtook Amy around hour 5 when he took a bathroom break, but Amy fought back. By the end, he had blisters on his fingers and said his left forearm felt, quote, broken. Figure AI CEO Brett Adcock claimed that this would be the last time humans would win. In a challenge like this, of course. The company has been running live stream for over 100 hours, showcasing their latest FO3 humanoid, working autonomously while connected to Figure internal neural network Helix 2.
I wonder am I the only nigga who walk down the street and be looking at people like, man, that nigga probably a secret agent or something, bro. Like, I live in Washington, D.C., so that nigga, the FBI, the NSA, the CIA, the DEA, nigga, everybody out there, right? I be walking past some homeless people like, man, that nigga probably ain't even homeless for real, bro. This nigga's probably a good-ass island. I don't know, bro. Am I tripping? I probably am tripping. I do a lot of stroll and smoke out of weed and niggas fucking know. Michael?
We got some fake actors, man, in DC, bro, like you said. I mean, wouldn't be shocking or surprising, like you said. They got the CIA, FBI out there. So what, they just dressing up and just trying to see what's really going on in the hood, bro? Have their eyes and feelers out there, man, so they can report back? Crazy things have happened.
Jackson thought he was going to get his master's back in 1999. He finds out around 1999, Art, that he not getting his master's back until 2009, the year he died. Are you following me on this, Art? Let me say that one more time. Let me say this one more time. Michael Jackson thought he was going to get his master's back in 1999. His lawyers played him. He finds out in 1999 he's not getting his master recordings back until 2009, the year he died. I think you know where I'm going with this. So now, Art, Tommy Mottola tells Michael Jackson, if you don't extend your contract, we're not going to finance Invincible. Michael Jackson said, I'm not signing no contract extension with you devils. I want out. So they sabotage Invincible art to put him in debt. Why did they want Michael Jackson in debt? To try to force him to sell his personal catalog and the joint ATV catalog art. Sony Records was bankrupting Michael Jackson to try to force him to turn over all of his music. They signed with him to destroy him and take his music. Same thing Warner Brothers did with Prince, allegedly, that led to his premature execution.
And I know the veil is thinning because how else do you explain what is happening in this video? Now, you would think I'm talking about the clouds and how low it is and how crazy it looks, but y'all gotta turn their sound up. What is this, y'all?
I hear it.
What is that? This is in California. Look at the clouds. Look at the sun. Hold on, hold on. Why is this guy a giant being on a microphone? Listen, y'all. What is it? Her mother was recording this sound. It scared her so bad she dropped the camera and went inside. But yes, what is that? What's been going on with the sky lately, y'all? Look at this in Clearwater, Florida, bro. How do you explain this, y'all? What is this? What is this? What's happening with the sky? What's happening with the sun? Y'all seen that? What? Anybody else getting the vibe that the sky look painted? Like, why does it look like a Van Gogh painting? Why does it look like a Truman Show, bro? And then there's a fire in California. I feel like this is every year. Why is this? Are we in the loop? Something's going on, bro. The sky is telling it all, bro. Just the clouds being this low in California, you can literally grab them things, bro. What is that noise, y'all? Let me know down in the comments below. The shit is here. I've been telling y'all, man, we're in the midst of it. Let's continue to get it. Peace.
About Peter Thiel's secret society has been revealed. So the Dialogue Society is a private, invitation-only network co-founded in 2006 by Palantir Chairman Thiel. You know, and they hold secret meetings all over the world that are completely off the record, where they obviously talk about technology and finance and how to control our world and building cults, you know, everything. You know, how to control society, just normal everyday stuff. You know, a meeting of the puppeteers of our society. But a directory in the website's code was revealed by a Swiss hacker. The next retreat that they're going to have is actually in Dublin, Ireland, and it's going to have people from all over politics, tech, celebrities, you know, multiple people from the Trump administration, NATO's top U.S. commander. But, you know, some of the very normal things to talk about during the conference that's happening this year is navigating World War III, battlefield technology, money, does it buy happiness, bring back nuclear, build a cult, which is probably the best one that's going to happen this year in my eyes, because of course you want all kinds of new information on how to build cults in today's age. And that last one is actually going to be moderated by the founder of the Christian networking site Pray.com. But you should get online and look at the members that were exposed in this not-so-secret society now.
Interesting. It just popped up out of nowhere. Like, what the hell is going on?
Major props to this guy for making the most out of his situation. This would be an extremely difficult condition to live with. This video was sent to me through Instagram DM. It shows a guy with a very unique body type. You'll notice that his bone structure appears kind of flat and bent, and that's because this guy more than likely has something known as Marfan syndrome. Now, first off, this guy's name is Dimas Ben Kong. He's found on Instagram, just wanted to shout him out. Marfan syndrome is a genetic disorder that impacts the body's connective tissue and oftentimes results in individuals being extremely tall as well as extremely thin. This can directly influence organs, bones, blood vessels, resulting oftentimes in a more deformed look. And for many individuals that don't have a super extreme version of this, their chest is either caved in or pushed out quite a bit. This disease can also impact your heart, and this is where it becomes lethal. Hopefully Dimas is not struggling with that if he does indeed have Marfan syndrome. I wasn't able to find anywhere where he personally talked about what he had, so this is my best guess. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below.
Spoke on Project Bluebeam. If there is some sort of alien invasion, we're basically attacking ourselves. You think that'll work?
I think enough people are aware of it, but I think the exception doesn't control the rule. A lot of people do know about it, but then what? Can we organize? Can we figure out what to actually do? Knowing is one thing, and then actually taking action is another. Are people going to be scared? Are people just going to fall over and adhere to whatever they say?
Because I've always said, even if this alien invasion happens and enough people are like, hey, it's not what we think or not what we're shown, but people are still dying, there's a whole nother element of fear that will trump whether you know or don't know.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter. If you got buildings falling down and cars blowing up, doesn't matter what the fuck you think at that point because it's all real.
And they simulated this reality to be whatever they say it is at that point. Oh yeah, it's aliens or this fake messiah, or we need a one world government now to do X, Y, and Z, so you're all safe.
David Grush just appeared on a Fox News segment and said this.
I did get access to crash retrieval photos and everything, so I've seen the recovered vehicles and everything. So I would say that's probably the most stupendous thing, earth-shattering thing that, you know, changed my worldview when I got access to some of that years ago. A lot of it was lenticular discs, some was crescent moon shaped. I call it the flattened sunfish. There's a bunch of different morphologies that the U.S. government has recovered, from eggs to discs to you know, crescent moon, boomerang type vehicles, and I got a small smattering sample of that of ones that have you know, landed or crashed on the surface of the earth.
So here's my question for you. Do you think these earth-shattering images or videos that numerous people like Grush keep referring to will ever actually be released to the public? Or will they remain classified indefinitely? Let me know what you think.
I think they're gonna remain classified, bro. Because like I said, we've seen it this year, man, when they keep more dropping, you know, the UFO files. They didn't even drop them all at once. It kept, like, they're doing it in phases or something like that, man. They just released a couple of new ones, I think, like, last week or something like that. So, but even then, we had people coming out talking, saying that those weren't, like, I guess, all the legit photos they saw in the UFO files, and they was calling for them to release it. You guys know that's never gonna happen, bro. So I just guess we're just gonna have to take what they give us, man.
What is flying up? Oh! Holy shit! What the hell?
Kai Cenat is alive and well. Dotha said 8 months back was the real Kai Cenat, and that this one is gone. This is what he said, bro. Now, as you can see, Reggie was in denial, or Reggie knows, but Reggie can't say nothing. Shh, shut up! Why would they say that about Kai? Knowing how everybody's been thinking that to begin with, that the old Kai is gone. And this new Kai's been acting very strange. And even his friend Dotha that runs with him could see the change, the transformation in Kai Cenat, bro. Now, do I believe that he was replaced? Absolutely not. This is the same Kai Cenat. But he has been acting very different. He talks different. His energy is different. Everything about this new Kai Cenat is different, bro. Dotha knows what's up, but Reggie's playing the game. Reggie knows something's going on, but he just doesn't want to admit it. Ever since HW, I don't think we ever gonna see the old Kai Cenat again. This is what people are saying. I don't believe that because obviously he's right here. But people just be saying anything because this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is the same Kai Cenat since way back, bro. This Kai Cenat right here, I don't know. Let me know. I'm out.
I think what Dotha was trying to say was, I guess, he said the Kai, it's the he said that's the old Kai back then. I guess 8 months ago is not the same one we know. You know what I mean? People change. Kai's goals just probably just changed, shifted around. But you know, he just, you know, dropped a streaming university too. So I'm guessing his return to streaming is like it's coming up real soon though. So we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. Do you guys really think Castanet he changed, bro? I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below.
I mean, I'm not losing my mind. The only thing that is unique about Mona Lisa was her undistinguishable expression. No one could tell if she was smiling or not. That's a clear smile. You could go on the street and ask everyone, and everyone would say she's smiling. Back then, when I was in school, we were discussing, is she smiling or not? Because that is the most unique feature of this painting. Please tell me I'm not losing my mind. That's not Mona Lisa. That's not the Mona Lisa I know from my childhood.
This is the last one about this woman's experience renting a car.
I've seen a few posts about this and I wanted to comment on it because I have a personal experience with it. It isn't something that's happening in the future, it's something that's happening now. I rented a car in Europe, and as the woman handed me the car keys, she said, this is a brand new car, and she was like super excited about it. She was like, it's 2026, it's a brand new car. And I was like, awesome, no one's had a chance to like fart or smoke in it, this will be great. And I'd driven it for a day or two, and I was getting on a highway. It was a 6-lane highway, and all of a sudden the gas stopped working, and I'm pressing on the gas. I can't get the car to go. So the car is dinging, it's making all this noise, and I can't figure out what's going on. And I look at the dashboard, and in English it says, sit up straight, we can't find your eyes.
Ew.
Why do you need to see my eyes? That was my first thought. And I'm short, so I sit low in the seat, and I guess, I don't know, maybe I'd been driving a while and I'd kind of slouch down more instead of sitting upright.
That's scary.
I don't know, man. We here at the famous Hollywood sign. But if y'all never seen this, right here, Canyon Lake, this is the blood drop right here. This is the blood drop. This shows all the sacrifices of Hollywood, how the inner works work. If y'all see this, man, that's a straight blood drop. You know what happens in Hollywood stays in Hollywood. But y'all, they letting y'all know right here, bro. You see the blood drop. This is what this shit is about, bro. See that? That's blood. That's a blood drop, like a teardrop full of blood. That's all blood, bro. Like, that is a real blood drop, bro. It's telling you something. Look, Hollywood, sacrifice yourself in blood. Get it back in blood, gang. Y'all gotta come check this out, though. Get it back in blood. Hollywood said y'all gotta get it back in blood. Y'all wanna be down with this? Y'all gotta sign y'all life over in blood, bro. That's how you get up in these hills. That's how you get up here, gang.
That was pure symbolism, man. The fact that they, like I said, the blood drop and the Hollywood sign is like right there, putting two together, man. We've seen these clips for a while, man. We've been seeing what they say that people have to do, and they be signing those contracts, man, to go to Hollywood, bro. That was some scary symbolism.
Серьезно?
That's a werewolf.
Что?
I don't know what type of dog that is.
What if I told you one of the world's most powerful scientific facilities is about to go silent for 4 years? And some people think that's a very bad sign. On June 29th, 2026, CERN is scheduled to begin a major shutdown that could last until 2030. Coincidence? Maybe. But conspiracy theorists have noticed something strange. The last major shutdown happened between 2018 and 2022. What happened during that period? A global pandemic, economic uncertainty, political chaos, and world-changing events. Before that, another shutdown happened in 2013, and within days, a massive meteor exploded over Russia. So here's the question. Are these just random events that happened near CERN shutdowns? Or is there a pattern hiding in plain sight? Now CERN is preparing for another long shutdown, right as the world heads toward major elections, technological breakthroughs, AI expansion, and global uncertainty. Is it all coincidence? Or are we about to witness another chapter in a pattern nobody can explain? Let me know what you think below.
Everybody keeps talking about the streets in LA. Got a problem out here. The streets in LA got a problem. The streets in LA are fine. Just a very dark pit that goes on for a very, very long time. The streets are fine, because that's there, and nothing bad will happen. The streets are fine.
I guarantee if you go down that hole, man, you're gonna find some old people down there, bro. They got some hidden cities, man, bro, down there, man. That pothole is actually ridiculous, bro. How long has that even been there, man? Imagine you just driving through LA, bro. Boom. Like, what the heck I just said, man?
Anyone else think these concerts are demonic?
What in the actual ritual?
It's one big ritual. They are harvesting your energy at these concerts.
What's wrong with these songs?
Stay weird, y'all. Be careful.
Guys, they have now officially confirmed what caused the OceanGate submersible to implode on its way down to the Titanic, and it has now been 3 years. Canada's safety board just dropped the final report, and they're saying that the carbon fiber hull was already cracking apart long before that final dive. On one of the earlier dives, it was reported that the people on board heard a loud bang come from the hull as they were surfacing.
What's that bang? The US Coast Guard has released a damning new report into the tragic Titan submersible implosion that killed 5 people. They say the disaster could have been prevented.
The company never did a real inspection, and they're saying that that bang was the hull starting to come apart, and then they took it down 8 more times anyways. This entire time, the sensors inside of that submersible were warning that the hull was failing, but the company misread the data so badly that they never pulled it out of service. The system that was literally built to give them the time to surface was never even properly tested. On top of all of that, they're saying that nobody ever actually proved that this hull could survive the trip down to the Titanic in the first place. They had absolutely zero regulators checking any of this on the submersible, so it kept just going down until the hull obviously gave out on dive 88. This honestly feels like a bunch of information that we already knew, but at least now it is officially confirmed.
It's been 3 years since that happened, man. Well, that just shows you, man. Well, time is moving way too fast, man. That was 3 years ago. I kind of remember that situation like it was yesterday, man. Oh. But the fact, like you said, that the whole, it was giving them a warning system and they wasn't even paying attention to it. And they would down 8 more times. Scary.
What would you do if you pull up to a gas station, but then you realize someone from the road was following you? And once they realize that they were following you and you have your camera out, they completely put their car in reverse. I mean reverse. Completely out of the gas station. And to the amazement of myself and all of the people present, he continued to go into reverse. All the way up the block. And when I thought this was finally over and he had left, I was made aware by some good gentlemen here, especially namely in this truck. You're a good man. He let me know your stalker is still indeed stalking you. Just look. He is waiting for you to leave. These are monitoring split.
Nah, why was he following her though, bro? Good thing she put into the gas station for other people, man, and that man was helping out. He just put it in reverse and like in the head in the cup, bro. Man, you gotta be careful nowadays, bro. Imagine, man, if she put it to the gas station at night, man, nobody was there. I don't want to think about what happened. She was sharp. She was aware, man.
Brand new video just taken on June 5th, 2026 that could showcase the clearest Bigfoot footage ever. Claims that the Sasquatch was measured at approximately 12 feet tall. If this is the case, it would be almost impossible to be any kind of person in costume or any kind of wildlife that's been discovered. The details we can see the most are its dark human-like eyes, its strong brow ridge, large nose, and its leathery skin. I mean, this has to be some of the clearest footage yet. And most believe it's not AI because of how realistic it is. Usually you can at least tell a little bit if it's AI, but this one doesn't seem to be. Another thing people love about this one is how camouflaged the being is. Bigfoot is said to be a master of camouflage, a creature that can blend into almost every environment, and this here is a perfect example. The hiker probably never would have seen it if it didn't move, hidden in plain sight, but not at the same time. It seems like a really legitimate encounter that the hiker just happened to stumble upon, something he probably wishes he never stumbled upon. But let me know what you guys think of this footage in the comments. Is it the clearest and realest ever?
Comes up to us, asks us if she wants us to take a picture of us, and she disappears in the ocean with 2 dead things hanging from each side of her. I have to say, watch out. You see that? Have I seen the parades or? And she's very soft. It's not very small. Jeremy. And you don't know the water. You don't know. She's standing up.
Yeah, she is.
Jeremy, is she coming back yet? That was very, very dumb. Jeremy, somebody told me it's a mermaid. Just wait a minute. Where is it? Do you see her still? What is she over? Did she have her hand? A dead fish? Did she go over? Jeremy, she's gone. Jeremy. Jeremy, she's gone.
Yeah. Oh, she ain't coming back.
She's gone. Jeremy, she's gone. That was the weirdest thing in the world. Jeremy, I'm videotaping this. Get right before your camera.
I don't know what we with this, man. That wasn't a siren mermaid. I don't know if that was kind of a spirit or entity right there, man. She had the 2 fish and she just kept walking. But she just like disappeared, bro. Okay. Got a ghost building in China. See that like this light coming from the building. It's supposed to be like a creature. Snap.
You ever notice when music artists start exposing the industry, they end up going? Oliver Tree did it, now he's going. Angie Stone did it, now she's going. Michael Jackson did it, now he's going. What the fuck is happening in the music industry? They say everything that shine and glitter is in gold. So when people sign those contracts, they do it for the gold, but the corporation want your soul. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. I have a question for you. When you listen to a song, what's your favorite part? The hook. Why do you think they call it the hook? By the way, did you know that Lucifer is the angel of music? They don't want you to know that the hook is really the bait or the trap. Oh, you don't believe that the hook is the bait? Go ask a fish. How many hooks court the fish? How many times you listen to a song and got hooked on it? But let's go a little deeper. Every time one of these music industries release a big song, you know they use 13 witches to do a channel with, right? Yes, music and hooks is really a spiritual chant. You ever notice you could be doing some random shit and a hook from a song just pop in your head? You ever listen to a song and it take you back down memory lane? It make you think about your old relationships, your good times, your bad times, your mom, your dad. It seems like music is like a time travel machine. Music can tap into your emotions because it's water. Remember, the spell is in the language. When you look at the word mu, it means water. We already know SIC means sick. So when you put music together, you get water that's sick. We are 85% of water. So when we listen to these low music, it make us sick. So the real question is this shit really worth it? When people sign these contracts, it's really a contract of silence. That's why all these music artists, they do this all the time. Look at the old pictures.
Okay, we paying attention.
I did. What? Oh my god. What? Are we? It just... No, are we crazy? No, it's gone. Wait. No, listen.
Alright, we zooming in. What the heck? Oh, nah, man. Okay, you paying attention? Gone, bro. It's not ahead of it either. That car literally just disappeared out of nowhere, man. It didn't just speed up and get in front of the Amazon truck. It was, as soon as the Amazon truck passed through, it was gone, bro. I'm gonna say that's a ghost car, man. That's my best guess.
Of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
The hell? That old timey car in front of him, man. Once again, man. Oh, the Ghost Twins. I didn't put those two and two together just until now. I thought those were the Nordics. Nah, but they do look like the Ghost Twins from the Matrix. I can't see the resemblance.
I thought somebody was watching me. Don't that look like an eyeball? I thought somebody was watching me, y'all. Y'all can hear that how I'm breathing. Like this shit is, it scared me. Look at that. That look like someone.
I saw
Imagine how
eyeballs.
much propaganda it took to convince us we should switch from factory farming to producing food in another factory. You might be surprised to find out the same handful of corporations that dominate industrial animal agriculture have been quietly investing in lab-grown meat since 2016. Alongside billionaire backers like Bill Gates and Sergey Brin, Tyson Foods, Cargill, and JBS are positioning themselves at the forefront of this next iteration of the protein supply chain. The largest meat packer, Tyson Foods, not only acquired a $15 million stake in Beyond Meat, but also invested in Upside Foods and led a seed round in an Israeli cultured meat company. Cargill invested in a different Israeli meat company called Aleph Farms, focused on lab-grown steak, and also made a follow-on investment into Upside Foods. While JBS has made even more recent investments, including creating Brazil's first cultivated protein R&D center in 2023. What's the common thread here? Control. The big four meat packers own approximately 85% of the beef market. So if lab-grown meat is successful, that's all patented, and the same companies that are already controlling beef have significant stake in this future too. The way to resist this future is by supporting our small farmer. You can find local American cattle ranchers who actually deserve this support using the localized farmers market app.
Yo, what kind of chicken is this in Indonesia, bro? Y'all ever seen anything like this? What is, bro? Look at this dinosaur. And then look at this tiny one. Look at this other one. Bro, what is going on? And the crazy thing is, I'm from Key West, Florida. In Key West, Florida, we have a big white chicken like this. But this right here is a dinosaur. The chicken or the rooster in Key West is not this big. This thing is crazy looking, bro. Y'all ever seen? Where did this thing come from? What do y'all think? You guys think this thing has been genetically altered, or is this thing natural? What is going on here? Look at this thing. This thing is huge.
Agoy, masaya na kong ogeso. Stilan. Sa PM lang mo sa gusto magpaliwat sa.
Bro, we never know what really is going on in the world, bro. There's a lot of things happening, a lot of different type of animals popping up, man. And they told us at the end of the world, we'd be seeing some crazy things like this. But yeah, y'all ever seen anything like this, man? Let me know down in the comments below, man. The shift is here. Let's
So this person means the dancing Serbian lady. So let's talk about the dancing Serbian lady. A few years ago, this myth arose on the internet. There's a lady in Serbia that dances on the streets, and if you get close to her, she will threaten you. She'll usually take out a knife and threaten you and chase you down. A lot of these claims were brushed under the rug because nobody really had proof until recently. They actually have a video of the dancing Serbian lady on the news in Serbia. At the end of the video, it is a little creepy too because she's walking towards the camera.
Dancing lady. What would you guys do, man, if y'all saw that? Me personally, I'm out of my own business. I'm out. She's walking towards them.
If you're in Serbia and you see this lady on the street, do not get near her. It might just be your last day on Earth. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. And if you're from Serbia, let me know if you've heard about this legend before.
That's weird. That's all I have to say. That's another angle, bro. Okay. She knows she's on camera. Is that all an act?
I have an update on the serial killer who is on the loose right now in California. If you missed my previous videos, essentially there's a serial killer who is on the loose right now in Stockton, California. Currently he has been confirmed to take the lives of 6 people, but it's believed that he's actually linked to a couple of other murders. Most recently though, the Stockton killer actually attempted to kill somebody, but they got away. Her name was Natasha Latour and she lived in a tent in Stockton, California. The 46-year-old said she was asleep in her tent when she was awoken to the sound of gravel crunching around her tent. She then walked out of her tent where she was greeted by the Stockton killer wearing all black and a black mask holding a gun pointing at her. Natasha then had a fight or flight response where she sprinted towards the killer to try to rush him. On her way towards the killer would duck down and shoot her 9 to 10 times. A train then began to pass by and Natasha actually found a way to escape. She was trudging along the streets of Stockton where she eventually collapsed in the middle of the road. Thankfully though, a couple came by and were able to take her to a hospital. She then recovered from her wounds, but unfortunately, she didn't have much information about the killer or his face. Can't really blame her, obviously there's a lot of adrenaline in a moment like that. But I can't help but feel like we're getting closer to finding out who this killer is. And look, as I find more information, I'll make sure to let you guys know, but...
That's the dangerous part.
Creepy facts about your body you're gonna wish you didn't know. When you go down a drop on a roller coaster and you suddenly feel your stomach drop, it's not just you feeling nervous. What you're feeling are your organs actually moving. Have you ever noticed that an older person in your life seems to have very long, large ears? That's because your ears will never stop growing. Across your lifetime, you will spend an average of an entire year just sitting on a toilet. When we see brains outside of the human body, they usually look pretty solid, but your brain, while inside your skull while you're alive, is actually very soft. It's like melted butter soft.
Creepy. Okay, what's so funny? I don't get it.
This is why you should be scared of that one person you're talking to online that you're about to meet in real life. Blanca Arellano, a 51-year-old Mexican woman, was looking for love. She met a Peruvian man named Juan Villafuerte on an online gaming app. And on the last day of October, she traveled 3,000 miles to Lima, Peru to meet him. She thought that he could be the one. On November 7th, while in the beach city of Huacho, where Villafuerte lived, Blanca spoke to her niece on the phone and told her that the relationship was going well and that she was in love. Then, she went silent. Her niece suspected something was wrong after not being able to get into contact with her. She called for help on Twitter and reached out to Juan Villafuerte, who said that Blanca got bored of him and left to find a plane ticket back to Mexico, as he could not provide the life she wanted. But the truth was much, much darker. On November 10th, Peruvian authorities found a severed finger on the beach of Huacho. Then in the following days, they found a faceless head, and then an arm, and then a torso with no organs inside of it. They eventually identified Blanca Arellano via her family by the ring on her finger. Juan Villafuerte was arrested on charges of human organs trafficking. Authorities found traces of blood all over his apartment, and he reportedly posted TikTok videos of human organs days after Blanca's disappearance.
You gotta careful, man, when you guys dating online, bro. You never know if you're talking to a weirdo or to a person who has genuine intentions, man. If y'all gonna meet up, bro, you gotta do it in a public place. Heard too many cases about that.
Guys, check out this tweet. I shaved my dog's head and now I'm afraid of it. I wanted to leave my house, but it won't stop following me around. Look at this thing. I don't blame you. I'd be scared too. This dog only gets worse. I think this is the scariest one by far. I would shit myself if I saw this, and I would not want to wake up to this thing staring at me.
Why would you shave his head? That doesn't even look like a dog anymore.
This is Carla Nash. She literally had her face ripped off by Travis the chimp. People noticed that Travis the chimp became way more irritable after they took him off his medication for his Lyme disease. But nobody expected when Carla picked up his Tickle Me Elmo toy for him to rip her face off and dismember her body. There is a 911 audio call between Sandra Harold and a dispatcher and her begging them to come out and kill the monkey because he's dismembering her friend. Carla had to undergo 72 hours of surgery and an experimental face transplant surgery. This left her completely blind for life. When police arrived on the scene, one of them shot Travis the chimp and then he died later right next to his cage. But the damage was already done. Carla was already disfigured and nearly dead. In my next video, I'm going to be playing audio clips from the 911 call between Sandra and the dispatcher. Stay tuned for that.
Travis the chimp, bro. Sound like a demon.
Cannibal facts that'll eat at you for days. If you thought Jeffrey Dahmer was picky for not eating people with tattoos, Venezuelan serial killer Dorangel Vargas, who ate 10 people, didn't like his victims to be overweight because he thought that they contained too much cholesterol. On Thanksgiving Day 1991, 23-year-old Omaima Nelson stabbed her sugar daddy William before carving him up and cooking his head in a deep fryer and eating him for dinner. In the 1970s, Jorge Negromonte, also known as the Brazilian Sweeney Todd, would bake his victims into pies before selling them to local townsfolk. After murdering and eating his classmate in 1981, Issei Sagawa was released from prison because of a loophole in Japanese law. Since then, he's actually profited off the crime, writing books, appearing on talk shows, and starring in adult films where he bites his fellow co-stars. In 2001, a man named Armin Maiwis posted an ad on a website called Cannibal Cafe looking for someone to be killed and eaten. A German engineer named Bernd Brandes volunteered, and after photos and videos of the incident were posted online, Armin was sent to jail, where today, he's a vegetarian. In 1904, a Swedish sailor named Karl Pettersson shipwrecked on an island inhabited by cannibals. He was captured and taken to a local king, whose daughter actually fell in love with him. The two then got married, had 9 kids, and Karl became the new king.
My man became king of the island. How the heck? Do you know how the odds have to line up, bro, for you to get on a cannibal island and a daughter falls in love with you? And you become king at the end? That sounds like something out of a movie script, Seekers.
We talk all the time about people who have disappeared, but we don't often talk about celebrities that have disappeared. We're looking at 3 celebrities who vanished under very mysterious circumstances. NBA star Bison Daly. In 2002, Bison, his girlfriend, his brother, and the captain all set sail on a private boat from Tahiti and did not come back. Weeks later, the boat does dock with just the brother inside and bullet holes patched up. I've never been able to prove this, but the FBI believes the brother was involved and disposed of the bodies overboard. Patrick Dermott. Patrick isn't exactly a celebrity per se. He was the boyfriend of Olivia Newton-John, who you would know as Sandy from Grease. In 2005, he vanished right off a sailboat. What was odd was all 20 passengers who last saw him all had conflicting testimony.
Do you remember the story of the adult woman who was pretending to be a child in order to get adopted? Well, the story is so much crazier than that. In 2010, the Barnett family adopted Natalia Grace, a 6-year-old girl from Ukraine. But shortly after the adoption, the family claimed that Natalia wasn't who she said she was. She couldn't speak any Ukrainian, which the family thought was weird, but she was also showing signs of being post-puberty, meaning she probably wasn't 6 years old. So the parents got a bone density test done on her, and the doctor said that she was at least 14, if not older. And on top of that, her behavior was starting to become menacing. She would stand over the parents' beds at night saying she was just waiting for the right time, and she threatened violence against the 3 other sons. One time she even tried to poison the mother. But what do the parents do? They get her age legally changed to 22 years old, rent her an apartment, and leave her in it by herself. They thought they were escaping a murderer, but many believe that they abandoned a disabled child. There's so many twists and turns to this story, and I do a whole deep dive on my podcast this week.
I want to check that out. What the heck? So she was 14, not 6.
A man who disappeared almost a decade ago has been found newly deceased, but the mystery continues. In July 2013, Robert Hoagland disappeared from his Connecticut home. He was married with 3 sons, and his family were extremely concerned when they discovered that he had not taken his phone, wallet, or passport with him. He was last seen on July the 28th at a petrol station in Newtown. He'd filled his car with petrol and bought a map from the station. This was to be his final card purchase. He was captured smiling on CCTV, and hours later, a neighbour saw him mowing the lawn. He'd actually planned with his wife to pick her up from the airport because she'd been on holiday. However, when he was due to arrive, he just never showed up. When she finally made her own way home, she discovered that he had not turned up for work either, and his car was still on the drive. When police searched his computer, they discovered that all of his searches had been deleted, and Robert had recently confronted some men associated with his son. This was in connection with 2 family laptops that had gone missing, and Robert thought that these 2 men had stolen them. However, police looked into these men and found no evidence linking them to his disappearance. Police investigations continued to reach dead ends, but all of that changed on the 5th of December 2022. Police were called to an address where a man was deceased. This man was Robert Hoagland. He'd been living under a new identity since 2013. He lived with his roommate David in Rock Hill, New York, and David believed his name to be Richard King. Robert had told David that he was newly divorced from his wife and wanted to start a new life. No cause of death has been released yet, but police are not suspecting foul play.
So he got a new identity and just left us.
A gruesome story leads off our newscast.
Milwaukee police found body parts in a North Side apartment, and now they wonder if they've uncovered some kind of death factory.
So our investigation is going to start here at the Ambassador Hotel in Milwaukee, at this famous room number 507. You can tell this room is famous because all these other rooms have actual markers. This room is just paper on the wall. If you'll step inside the room with me, this is a very, very important room in the story of Jeffrey Dahmer. Step in.
Ghost hunting. That room?
It was right inside here in this space where Jeffrey Dahmer committed his first murder in Milwaukee. He invited a man named Stephen Twomey, who he met at a bar, to come back with him, led him to this hotel, and proceeded to absolutely eviscerate him. Stephen was never found. It was here in this exact space where Jeffrey Dahmer brought Stephen back. He drugged him, he assaulted him, and then ultimately Jeffrey in the morning woke up and Stephen had been murdered. He was apparently laying next to him, and Jeffrey had no idea what happened, as he would claim later on. It's definitely eerie in here. We don't know if this is where the bed has always been. This is the actual space where Jeffrey Dahmer murdered someone. It's the only accessible place. The other locations are houses, private residences, and his apartment complex is obviously gone, but this is the one place where you could come to actually connect, and you can see it and feel it, you know?
So this is the one murder that Jeffrey Dahmer claims he does not remember. But he picked Stephen up somewhere around Milwaukee and he brought him here, and then he said the next thing that he remembered was waking up. His hands were all bruised and bloody, and then Jeffrey kind of panicked, went and bought a suitcase and stuffed his body into the suitcase in this room. And yeah, then he took him to his grandma's house and dismembered him.
It is really weird doing the show and everything, because even just coming here, it's dark, and I just keep having these flashes of just imagining like Jeffrey Dahmer like beating somebody or like attacking somebody, and I can't help but flash back in time to just see that, you know, because it happened right here in this space. It's hard to believe. But without further ado, let's go to the investigation, because we captured some very compelling stuff in here, and then we're off to more locations in the Jeffrey Dahmer story, the story of the victims, more importantly.
Check it out.
Jeffrey, I'm gonna start this audio recorder.
Okay.
Oh, the moment that I did that.
Got something.
Never seen that happen. K2's got a solid reading too.
Yep, solid reading.
Is this Jeffrey Dahmer? Could you light that up if this is Stephen Twomey?
Oh, action there. Okay. They actually talking to the goose? What's it picking up?
Do you know the name Jeffrey Dahmer?
No response. Is that light beeping me? Oh, it's detecting the levels. Okay. Ooh. What's that yellow flash?
Can you tell me who you are? Do you know the name Jeffrey Dahmer?
Oh yeah, I do. What the?
Is that a bad name? If this is Stephen, can you tell me what happened that night? Definitely some energy in here. Oh,
some eerie energy. There's actually communicating, talking through the beeps. That was very, very weird, bro. Eerie energy in that room. trying to break in? Monsters. She's babysitting? How can they find them? They caught them in 4K. People are freaking monsters, bro. Breaking into somebody's house. The fact that they just walking at the end. They not even running, they just take their sweet time. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, thank you guys for seeking the truth with me today. Make sure you guys leave a thumbs up in this video, comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit that post notification bell so you always get notified when I upload my next videos. You guys are going to catch you in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.